Top one nice one gets sorted.
Pure energy.
This is Mark from Alternate, and you're listening to GLOWKiD on Generation X Radio Show.
Yeah, check this next track out. You got asterisks in space. Watch your bass bins, I'm telling you.
Well, so let me just see if I've got the frequencies here. I've got some frequencies here. If I just find frequencies. Some frequencies. Let me see whether I can... As you very well know, Anwar, we're... Have you tried it on the Northampton frequencies?
Frequency.
And you're here, and you're listening to Planet Rave Radio.
Frequency.
Generation X.
Generation Lab, this is Generation Lab.
Boys and girls, the new generation. Call it generation of love. Boys and girls, the new generation. Call it generation of love. Feel you give a fuck about me and my generation.
Depends wherever you are. You are locked on Planet Rave Radio. And it's in addition to the showtime. Our last weekly gathering for this season. Presented and hosted, driven, thundered by GLOWKiD. Live streaming from Athens, Greece. Subject, special chapter. If you don't know what it's all about today, I can show you the answer. A sneak preview.
This is the moment they've all been waiting for.
Yeah.
This is the sound of Alternate.
Top one nice one gets sorted.
Frequency.
Yeah, check this next track out. You got asterisks in space. Watch your bass bins, I'm telling you.
Top one nice one gets sorted.
Check this out.
Frequency.
Yeah, check this next track out. You got asterisks in space. Watch your bass bins, I'm telling you.
This is the sound of Alternate.
it's all about a special trip today to the 25th anniversary. For one of the most golden, let's say, huge mental old-school rave albums in history. And that is full-on mass hysteria. Alternate's only full-length album, written in 1991, released a year later, 1992, via Network Records. Massive respect, massive props to the duet from Stafford, Alternate. The Dusk Mask and chemical suit wearing duo of Mark Archer and Chris Pete.
Top one nice one gets sorted. Top one nice one gets sorted. Top one nice one gets sorted. Top one nice one gets sorted.
And bless for us all, this album has been specially remastered and reissued the last year.
Top one nice one gets sorted. Top one nice one gets sorted.
Featuring 18 tracks in overall.
Top one nice one gets sorted.
Tracks and the 4 remixes inside. As we're listening to Shadow, that's Activate remix. Facebook.com/Dancer Oficial. Bulgarian DJ and producer based in Sofia. It was officially released 3 years ago on Balkan Vinyl Armageddon Remixes. So 90 minutes full on Masked Hysteria remastered version. Coming up alongside an exclusive interview with the legendary Mark Archer, the man behind the mask.
All the
dedicated to all my chat room crew. You got it burning since 1992, fellas. Shout out to Tudelino, Animatoy, Lupus, Paul Cloney, DJ Raven, Peace, Tony, and Vitality. Shout out to CHG, Bro Alan. Uk. Shouts out to Andrew from twitter.com/oldskoolcore. Full on Mask Stereo remastered version. You can grab it on alternateofficial.bandcamp.com. Devoters listening at the moment worldwide. Woo! Untitled Chapter show. Firelight. Special on our last chapter of this season. Firelight. Planet Rave Radio. Spanish crew DJ Mayor, Wislev Norigma, Lubes Luis, Panal Fibas. Deutschland! To my good friends, ensemble, no Incesistec, MK2K18, no project. All Mannheim crew. Take it higher.
You know the score, hardcore.
Monks, Master Marsh, Bass Raver, Sparky D. Out to the Hardcore Hit Squad. Out to Breakbeat Sandy, Strictly Nusco Black Crew. And the Bro Tarek. Woo! In mind, history of hardcore. And the yellow face from Finland. Evaporate, pick number 6 in UK charts in 1992. Massive shout out to my good fella Martin from the Crazy Dutchman's blog.nl. Gentleman bastard! All yours, crew! You take me higher, the water's to evaporate. I need that feeling, sometimes I just can't wait. You take me higher, sometimes I just can't wait. I need that feeling, the water's to evaporate. Anyway, don't make me wait. Evaporate, don't make me wait. Anyway, don't make me wait.
Check this out.
Still left on the mask, full on hysteria mayhem. As already told you, there's a special exclusive interview with the legendary Mark Archer coming up in a few minutes from now.
success of Alternate, number 3. On UJ charts. Trademark of Alternate for sure.
This is the sound of Alternate.
Wanna feel everybody out there activate their legs, their feet, hands in the air. Free your body and your soul.
Yeah, it's well wicked. Top one nice one gets sorted.
So yeah, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. My exclusive interview with Mark Archer. Coming up right now, all around. Turn it up.
John McQuaid in the house, nice one. Top one nice one gets sorted. Top one nice one gets sorted. Top one nice one gets sorted. Top one nice one gets sorted.
This is the moment they've all been waiting for.
So this is the moment we've all been waiting for. I have the honor to host a special exclusive interview with a man who's celebrating 25 years full-on mask hysteria under the Alternate project, as well as having his birthday just a few days ago. The one and only Mark Archer on the phone. Good evening, Mark. How do you do?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
All fine. So, 30 years in music and 50 in overall.
Yes, well, the next year, this year I was 49. Next year it'll be my 50th and my 30th year in the music scene, as it were.
All right, 2 big celebrations in a week. It's gorgeous.
Yes. So it'll be a big year next year.
For sure. So how does it feel like this anniversary to you? If you close your eyes and let yourself travel over the years regarding the successful and groundbreaking alternate project, 25 years by The Mask, any first thoughts?
It's very flattering. I mean, when we recorded the tracks back then, I never thought, it was going to last beyond the track that we had out at the particular time. I didn't think it was going to last a year or 2 years. So, for over 25 years for the album, and 30 years for me being in the industry, it's unbelievable that I can still go out and play at, raves all over the world and still play that kind of music, and it still go down the way that it does.
Definitely. And I'd stick mainly to the alternate thing, since tonight's showcase is totally dedicated to the Rave Bible. That's how I describe it. Full on Mask Hysteria. Came out officially on 13th July, I have to say, 1992 on Network Records, right?
Yes.
So, can you share the story behind this album release and your agreement with Network Records, Neil and Dave back then? Did they believe in this big success?
Oh yeah, I mean they were behind us from day one when we signed to the label in 1990. We signed as Nexus 21, and they wanted to put out Nexus 21 tracks that we'd already done and work on a new album. And the alternate thing came as just a kind of sideline. We'd already recorded, it was about 9 tracks, and played them to Neil and Dave. What do you think of these? And they said, they're good, but they don't sound like Nexus 21. So, can we put them out under a different name? So it was just, purely by accident. We were supposed to be called Alienate.
Yeah.
And when the records came back, it said Alternate on them. So it was, everything was by accident. But it was, once they saw that the Alternate thing kind of took off, we did the first track, which was, like 8 tracks on a 12-inch. That sold well because of the fact it had 8 tracks on it. Then we did Infiltrate, and, that was quite big while it was on promo, and we started doing gigs. So they could see, that Alternate was doing something, and they were right behind us all the way. So when we came to the album, rather than do a whole load of new tracks, we wanted to try and get together all the records that we had done and then add some, new stuff in between. So we got together all the best versions that we thought of the tracks that we'd already recorded, and then did a few new ones, like Brutality and Eighth's Revenge and Date with Pleasure. Other ones just to make sure that there was plenty of tracks on the album.
Exactly, and it all came this awesome result, this iconic result. You have mentioned about Infiltrate, and I remember on a past interview you have said that this tune is your proudest moment. Is it true still? And
yeah, I mean, we were just making tunes that we liked. We weren't making them for the charts or for success or to make money. It was just we liked that kind of music. And I was heavily influenced by quite a few different tracks, and I wanted something, with the breakbeat in and with the sub bass and like acid noises and crowd noises, and we put it together, never thinking that it'd do what it did. But it's just one of those tunes where, while it was on promo and I was going to raves, we were doing live PAs as Nexus 21. And then I'd be in the crowd like later on, and one of the DJs would play Infiltrate, and you'd just see how the crowd went off. And it was just, brilliant memories.
And how you took that 202 decision, Infiltrate 202 on the title?
Well, Infiltrate sounded quite ravey. And the sub bass that's in the track is off a Roland MC 202.
Nice one. And who was the innovator for the face masks and the whole the chemical warfare suits?
Well, we were doing gigs as Nexus 21. We'd done a tour with, it was Network Records and Warp Records. So it was Nexus 21, Rhythmatic, LFO and Nightmares on Wax. And we played at a club called the Eclipse in Coventry. And a couple of months later, when Infiltrate was on, on promo, they wanted us to play as Alternate. So I thought, we need to look different because we just played there as Nexus 21. Don't want to go on stage looking exactly the same.
Yeah.
So my brother, who was in the RAF at the time, gave me the 2 chemical warfare suits. So we'd got like pretty much a suit to cover ourselves up, and it was just we need to cover our faces, and that was the cheapest, quickest thing that I could think of.
A big bunch to the rave history for sure.
Yeah, and again, we didn't think, this is a big marketing plan. We'll make sure that we look different to everyone else, and it'll be our thing. It was just to cover ourselves up. So everything about Alternate kind of was like, a lucky accident.
So, last year's second half, you have made a special remastered release of Full On Mask Hysteria. It's out on triple heavyweight 12-inch and of course on digital versions. For those who don't know about it, you can grab it on alternateofficial.bandcamp.com, an essential album for every old school and new school lover. And by saying new school lover, I mean the new generation, those young kids that were buzzing next to you last year on your standing set at Boiler Room.
Yeah.
Big moment.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I mean, I went there knowing that the crowd was going to be young and thinking, how is it going to go down me playing?
Mark, I have to say that it's one of my favorite sets from last year for sure.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed it, and you teach that. Let's say you taught the boys and the girls right there correctly, as deserves, with a good selection of old school classics.
Yeah, it was my attempt at a bit of a history of rave set. It's going from like the early '89 kind of stuff right through the Belgian techno onto the hardcore stuff later on. So a bit of a tour through rave, really.
Excellent. Taking you now 2 years back, and how you took the decision, let's say, to relaunch alternate live shows, how you stuck with Joss and relaunched the whole thing.
First, the idea came about in 2013, where someone started a group on Facebook to get Activate back in the charts. And it was someone, we didn't know who it was. The guy who started it didn't know how to get a song in the charts. It was just an idea that he had. So we kind of got involved with it and helped him along, managed to get Activate up onto iTunes and get some remixes. And obviously we were talking to Neil at Network Records about the remixes, and the possibilities of getting it onto iTunes. And he said, if you want to start doing alternate PAs again, I've got no problem with you using the name, because we didn't think of the name originally. It's like Network Records came up with the name Alternate. So he said, we're cool with you using that name if you want to do PAs. So from there on, we prepared a live set, and I think the first one we did was at Bangface in 2015.
Yeah.
And it was incredible, brilliant to be back on stage.
And are you in progress of any alternate tunes, any new stuff?
Yeah, we've actually we recorded a track specially for that Bangface gig. So there was, the original alternate tracks, and then something
extra.
New. Yeah, so we're working on that, getting that track finished, and it looks like we might have a label who are interested in putting it out as well.
Shall we ever see a kind of album, single release, an EP, any updates, quick updates, any thoughts, let's say?
Well, if this track goes out, we'll be working on material for a new album, so, you know, fingers crossed.
Proper. I know you're mostly a Detroit lover. That's why I'm asking you, what does it mostly expresses you? Alternate Project or Nexus 21?
I like both of them for different reasons. You know, the Nexus 21 was aimed purely at the Detroit techno, which was the thing that really got me into making music. But the Alternate is all the influences from the whole rave scene, you know, with the breakbeats and the Belgian techno and stuff like Frankie Bones stuff and bits of Detroit and Chicago acid. So it's everything, you know. So they've both got real special places.
So I suppose the best personal era of your music life is in early 90s, right?
Yes, yeah. I mean, 88 was a complete game changer, but the whole thing between 1990 and 1992, you know, those were the golden years.
The good thing. So, last year marked a wonderful year for you. We had the remastered version of the album, then your wedding with Nicky on Bankface, and of course the book. We have also the book, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible, you know, the amount of things that have been going on.
Yeah, The Man Behind the Mask with Andrew Woods. Lots of great stories put into photo, emotions, and of course the right words, the proper words. This book is available to purchase now on Music Mondays in print. Anything to say about your book, how you come with this decision?
It was something that a few people had said to me, you know, when you're telling stories at after parties or at gigs or whatever, and people say, you know, you should write a book. But I never thought anyone would be that interested in, you know, what I've got to say. It's just, you know, it's just me telling stories. And then Bunter, he did his own book.
Love Generation,
yeah. And, you know, he put everything in place. The publishing company, you know, the whole thing. So then when he said to me, you know, do you want to do a book? It was just, you know, perfect because he's got everything in place. And I wouldn't have had the confidence to go to someone and say, you know, I want to do it. So when I was offered, I just snapped the chance up.
Yeah, and I can see it in your eyes. I have to reveal that you are very proud of this book.
Oh,
you know,
totally. I mean,
people can understand it.
Yeah, it was... When I left school, if somebody had told me, you know, this is what I'd be doing 25, 30 years down the line, you know, and you're going to have a book out, you know, there was no way I'd believe them. So it is a very, very proud moment. And, you know, I owe it to Dan and Sonia at Music Mondays.
Yeah, big moment.
Yeah.
So, on a recent interview I had with 𝐼𝐻 from GLOWKiD, he has revealed that he's in progress of a collab with you. Kind of, let's say, Nexus 21 stuff, kind like this. What's your perspective about it?
Well, we did a collaboration a few years back under the name Liquidate.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was, you know, it was more of a kind of...
Which was premiered in Greece, right? In Athens.
Yes.
In
totally.
Bios, yeah.
And then we've decided, you know, there's a lot of the retrospective on the hardcore years of rave. So we wanted to do something a bit earlier. So more of the Nexus 21 new groove kind of American vibe. So that's what we're working on at the moment.
Marco, you said about Liquidate. Of course, when I hear Liquidate, I'm thinking of Greece. I suppose you and 𝐼𝐻 the same thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was an immense gig.
Yeah.
But I mean, every time I've come over to Greece, it was, you know, fantastic.
If I ask you what time was the most standing, the most unforgettable here in Greece?
We actually played a gig in '93, and we did 2 gigs. We did quite a small one. Then there was a bigger one. And we did a live PA, and we also DJ'd along with Mark the MC, and it was an amazing gig. You know, absolutely loved it. The crowd going absolutely mental. Yeah, so it's great memories of back in the day.
Definitely on the golden era of alternate.
Yeah.
And Mark, how do you see the whole scene at the moment? Is there any kind of evolution to the old school rave and hardcore? Any acts you rate these days or whatever?
I mean, there's a lot of new acts who are doing stuff and taking influences, because obviously there's producers now who've been brought up on the music by their parents. I mean, there's a guy called Lone who's signed to RNS, and it was actually the Boiler Room night was actually his album launch party, and his sound is very, very influenced on like old school rave kind of sound. So you know, he's really doing it at the moment. But a lot of people again are starting to use breakbeats in their music, and so I've been doing like new mixes where it's any kind of music, whether it's like techno or house or whatever, anything that's got a breakbeat in, and there's lots of producers at the moment who are doing that.
Nice one. Let's see now. Would you change, add or cut anything during these 30 years?
To be honest, I don't think I would change anything, because obviously if you change one thing about your life, you won't be where you are now, you know, and I'm very, very lucky to be here.
It's all about the karma thing, they say, right?
Yes, totally, you know, so you know, you've got to have certain times in your life when things go bad, because, you know, then it teaches you how good the good times are. So no, I don't think I would change anything at all.
Wise. And alternate in 5 words, I'd say 25, but there are so many, so let's say 5 only.
Alternate in 5 words. Still going, still bonkers, hardcore.
Nice one. I'd like to thank you a lot, Mark, taking your time for this exclusive interview on my show, Full on Mask Hysteria 25th Anniversary Special. And of course, a big happy birthday from myself and the whole crew in here. Wish you health, strong, and more success. And
thank you very much.
More hunger for hardcore, let's say.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Have a good one.
Cheers.
Massive respect. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mark Archer One more great and honorable moment on Generation X of the show. You may follow him on facebook.com/Mark Aaron Archer. And check his releases on markarcher.bandcamp.com. And of course, facebook.com/Full on Mask Hysteria alternate Facebook page. For all updates, gigs, upcoming stuff. Next big thing coming up on Friday, Bankface Boat Party 2K17 in London. Listening to Tupac Mice remix on Everybody, officially released in 1993. The weekly online crew says and states and exposures about the Full on Mask Hysteria album. Seats, please. We'll be right back in a while.
This is the Strictly Oldskool blog. With exclusive interviews, track reviews, free tunes and exclusive tunes to give away, mixes and information on events. www.strictlynewschool.blogspot.com is where it's at. You know it makes sense.
Stay updated with all the latest Glow news, Generation X Radio Show, Prodigy Fanboy, and Strictly New School blog. www.glowkidmusic.blogspot.com.
Oi, my name's MC Emerson Allen.
And I'm DJ Lipmaster Mark.
And together we're known as the Rat Pack. And you're in tune with who?
Generation X and DJ GLOWKiD.
That's right, Generation X and DJ GLOWKiD. Pick up your chest.
This is Eamon from Liquid. You are listening to the one and only GLOWKiD.
Yeah, check this next track out. You got Asterix in space. Watch your bass bins, I'm telling you.
So I'm giving now the right pass to the GenX listeners, the glowing mad crew. First of all, Stuart from Breakbeat Scientist and Strictly New School blog. Stuart, how old are you, please?
I'm 42.
Nice one. And hailing from Aberdeen?
Oh, Aberdeen, Scotland.
All
yeah,
right.
That's correct.
And your perspective about the full-on Mask Hysteria by Alternate?
Well, I discovered the full-on Mask Hysteria album a bit later than I had sort of followed their singles. So it was good to see a lot of the tracks that featured on their singles appearing on the actual album. I fell in love with their rough and ready sound, the use of rugged breakbeats, harsh stabs and euphoric pianos.
Nice one. Then it's Robert. Robert from?
I'm from Poland and I'm 25.
Nice one.
I was born in exactly the same year that this album was released.
Oh.
So yeah.
And what does this album mean to you?
Actually, this was one of the first albums of this type of music I discovered. And it's somehow definition of old school music.
Nice one. Then we have Gamma 909 hailing from
Germany.
Germany, and you're 14 years old, mate. Is that true?
Yeah, right.
Gamma 909 makes also hardcore tunes. So, how do you see Full On Mask Hysteria, mate?
It's a great album. It's hard, it's rough, it's dark. It's like you have the project experience. The project experience is more melodic, and you can say like. The alternate album is like the dark side. Yeah. But it's a really great album.
Nice one. One more supporter of this show hailing from Germany, Lucas. Hi Lucas, how old are you?
Hi, I'm 17 years old now.
And you're making music like a TNO project, right?
That's right.
Nice one. What does Full On Mask Hysteria mean to you?
So, Full On Mask Hysteria, what I like about the album is that it's quite dark in contrast to other tracks in that era. Furthermore, the combination of classic steps and breaks is just lovely. And especially when Stereo 3 comes in.
Thank you. Then Damon from US, right?
Hello, yeah, I'm from California.
Yeah, and how old are you, mate?
I'm there with Stuart. I'm 41.
Nice. And Full On Mask Hysteria, what about it?
Yeah, kind of similar to Stuart. I listened to all the singles back when they came out. Fortunately, I could find a lot of the early singles in record stores here. But being in the US, I think we were a couple years behind, so it wasn't until '94 that I finally found Full On Mask Hysteria. And I just played the album the other day, and you're hit with all these tracks that you kind of forget about, and you think, oh wait, there's this crazy track, that one's awesome. And then this one, it's just a full collection of all these great tracks, so it's no wonder Alternate has stood the test of time and such a good album.
Nice one. Matt, hello mate.
Hello there.
You're hailing from?
Chicago.
Nice one. One more from US. And how old are you, please?
Yeah, 40 years old.
Oh, and you're still masked?
Still masked. If I still have my mask, I'd be wearing it right now. I would say that this album, there's two albums in sort of the breakbeat hardcore early 90s sort of rave album pantheon that are just the best. And there's the Prodigy's Experience and there's the Alternate album. And because they're actual albums, they're not just like a collection of singles, you get some experimentation that you just don't get in a lot of dance music at that time when it's like a single-based culture. And I mean, the album still blows me away, and I think it blew people away back then. And it's amazing that a whole new generation is experiencing it. So,
nice one. I'm with you. So last one closing with United States Beat Squad, my good fella, hailing from
England, but I live in Las Vegas.
Crazy. And how old are you, mate?
42. I'm 42, same as Stuart.
Nice one.
It's an old man's game.
This whole thing, this is what I like, starting from a guy aged 14 to the reversed one, 41. So yeah. And what is your opinion about this album, this great album? This anniversary, actually, 25th anniversary of Full On Mask Hysteria.
Yeah, man. Listen, Alternate, the first time I ever heard an Alternate track was at a club called Angels in Burnley, and at the time, like the early 90s, that was one of the best clubs in the UK for hardcore. Every single DJ was on, PAs were on, Alternate were on. The first tune I heard was Armageddon, and it blew me away. Just the noises just in that track and the beats with the siren and everything. And I was like, what the heck is this? So then you find out, when it's Alternate, and then you start looking and you start digging and you hear the rest of the tracks. They were way ahead. Like the Prodigy, like the other guys have mentioned. Way ahead of the time, way ahead of everybody else on a production level as well. So it really is no surprise that they've kind of lasted the test of time and they're coming again.
Wicked. So thank you all, guys. Big thanks to Stuart, Robert, Gamma 909, TNO Project, Lucas, Damon, Matt, and United States Beat Squad. Top one, nice one, get sorted.
Yep, thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Let me just see if I've got the frequencies here. I've got some frequencies here. If I can just find frequencies. Some frequencies. Let me see whether I can... As you very well know, Anwar, have you tried it on the Northampton frequencies?
Frequency. Frequency, more than 1 million megahertz. Here it comes.
So many surprise and really cool to see a really regular crew joining in. Big up, guys, thank you a lot.
Frequency.
Fast and Buddhist.
Your fiber.
Clap your hands. Come on.
One more brilliant remix featured on remastered version of Full On Mask Hysteria.
Frequency, more than 1 million megahertz.
Fast and Buddhist.
Frequency.
listeners out there. A tutto Delino and Murillo Brazil Massive. Lucas, my good fella from Tenerife. Paul Gron, DJ Rave in Peace, UK crew. Animato and all Polski, New Rave Masses. Shout out to my bro Alan CHZ and Shaq. A to Fisa Gamma 909 TNO Project. A to Tony L, a to Vitality. Shout out to Thomas from Malta. Hideyuki from Japan, DJ Takumi, Ashi. At the Russian crew, DJ Pink Champagne, Manaboom, DJ Shaiko Somatic, and Sergey from Niptide.
Move my body, move my body, move my body, move my body. Move my body, 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 move my body.
Greece, UK, Japan, Serbia, Bolivia, Sweden, US, Latvia, Russia, Ukraine. Out to Spain, Australia, Finland, Germany, Hungary, Hill, Netherlands, Poland, Switzerland, Iceland. Rewind by Selecta.
This is the sound of alternate.
Move my body, move my body, move my body, move my body,
Move my body. 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 Move my body.
Yeah, check this next track out. You got Asterisks in Space, watch your bass bins, I'm telling you.
Want to enter tonight's show. Oh boy. Full-on Mask Hysteria tonight, special treat. Re-indulge. So fellas, boys and girls, ladies and gents, much appreciated. A big thank you for all the big support I've been receiving throughout this season, throughout these years. A hard-working season, this one. This is my 29th show. Having also exclusive interviews and mixes with special guests like Lunacy, Liquid, Psy from Two Bad Mice, TNO Project, Triple Times F Die Tracks, Cam Rave in Peace, Demcore, Sistek and Serise, as well as Ratpack, Bill Daniel, Panther, Fat Controller and DJ Vibes from Unity in the Sun Special. Many words to express, so many words to spit from my mouth, but I do not know really where to start and where to finish. Time is running also. Thank you fellas, much respect, big ups to all my chat room crew, to Delino Animatoi, CHZ and Shaq, Fisa, Gamma 909, Liam Taylor, Lupus, Paul Cronin, DJ Revit, Beast, Tony, L Vitality, each and every one silent listener out there. Glow love for Glow love. And I'm really delighted delighted with the whole thing, what's happening each and every weekend here. So you know what? I'll take a deep breath and drop the very last tune. The very last tune of tonight's showcase of this season. So turn it up loud. And call your neighbor to join in. On this one. Massive respect to the man behind the mask. You can purchase your copies of this book on musicmondays.co.uk. Mark Archer's book. Shouts out to Billy Daniel Butler and Sonia from Music Mondays. Big up Only Unit in the Sun crew. Fellas, wishing you all the greatest, the happiest summertime. We're in the mid of the summer. Enjoy your time and have a good one. make a few updates on my website, glowkidmusic.blogspot.com. The thing is to subscribe your email into the mailing list on your right of the main page of the site. So thank you all, really, thank you all, one by one. Hats off. See you all around, fellas. See you all around.
Generation X.
You are listening to Planet Rave Radio.